Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chapter 2 for our PowerPoint certification. So Chapter 2 is going to be a bit similar to our Excel certification for Chapter 2 as well, where we're managing presentation options and the different views. So for our first exercise, we'll be changing the slide size to a width of 14 inches and a height of 9 inches. And to ensure the fit for each slide and to apply this new slide size to all the slides. So to do that, we would go to the Design tab at the top. We would go to Customize, and then click Slide Size, and then click Custom Slide Size. So under Width, we'll change it to 14 inches. And for the height, we'll change it to 9 inches. And then we'll click OK. So now it's asking us, do we want to maximize the fit or do we want to ensure the fit for the presentation? They wanted us to ensure the fit, so we would click the button here, ensure fit, and it automatically applies this new slide size to all the slides in our presentation. So for exercise 2, they're telling us to go into the slide sorter view, and then to switch slides 4 and 6 from this view and to exit the view. So we would go to the View tab in the ribbon, and under Presentation Views, we see different types of views that are here. And before going into slide sorter view and changing slides 4 and 6, I just want to quickly go over the different presentation views in PowerPoint. So the outline view, this mainly focuses on the text of the PowerPoint presentation. So outline view focuses on the content and the hierarchical structure of the presentation, and it's ideal for editing text and reordering points. So instead of having to, be distracted by all of the design and the formatting of the slide, you could just edit the content, the words on this right here in outline view. In the notes page view, these are notes for yourself for the presentation. So this differs from the Notes Master view, as the Notes Master views controls the notes for the whole presentations for the whole slide, versus the Note Pages view just controls it for the current slide that you're clicked onto. And the Notes view is just useful when you want to reference a slide and you want to put a note below that slide. Like if that's a slide and you want to hit a certain point, you would just put that in the notes below. And for the reading view, that's just displaying your PowerPoint presentation in a reading view. So I'll just click Escape to exit. So again, we're in the View tab. We'll go to Slide Sorter. And the Slide Sorter view allows us to easily arrange our slides differently. If we want, slide 2 to be last or slide 1 to be last, it's easier to rearrange it in this view. So the instructions told us that they want slide 4 and 6 switched. So basically that they want slide 6 to be the shareholder information, growth strategy, and future outlook. And they want slide 4 to be shareholder information. So we could just click and drag slide 4 to be last, and then click and drag slide 5 to be behind slide 3. So our current presentation should look like this, and slide 4 should be shareholder information sales, and slide 6 should be shareholder information, growth strategy, and future outlook. And to exit this view, we would just go to normal. Next, they want us to name the subject of this presentation to be Ascend and to remove any hidden document properties and personal information from the presentation. So to do that, we would go to File, Info, and to rename the subject, we would go to Show All Properties. And we'll go to Subject, which is right here, and then rename it to Ascend. And click Enter on our keyboard. They also want us to inspect the document and remove any hidden properties from it. So under check for issues, next to inspect presentation, we'll click inspect document. And they're asking us if we want to save the file. For me, I'm not going to save it right now, but as you guys follow along, you guys should be saving your file. So we'll click inspect, and we'll see that there is an issue with the document properties and personal information. So we'll click remove all. Do not remove the comments and do not remove anything else the exam does not tell you to remove. Just only focus on what the exam is telling you to do. So they told us to just remove the document properties and personal information, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll just click close after we finish that. And then we'll click the arrow to escape. Next, they want us to configure the presentation so that we would print with notes pages. So to do that, we would go to File, Print, and under Settings, where it says Print All Slides. Right now, when we go to print these slides, it's configured to print the slides one by one. But they want us to print in notes pages. So where it says Print All Slides, we would click the drop down. Or I'm sorry, we would click the drop down next to Full Page Slides. And where it says Print Layout, we would click Notes Pages. So if you remember the notes view that I showed you earlier, if we added any notes below these slides, they would show up right here. So instead of just printing out the slide itself, you could also print out the slide and then the notes associated with the slide. And then we would exit the view. Next, they want us to configure the presentation to print 3 slides per page using the handouts. So we would go to File, Print, and where it says Notes Pages, we would change it, go to Handouts, and click 3 slides right here. And here, this is the handout view. So this is a bit similar to the handout master view that we covered in chapter 1. So the handout master view, focused on changing the data, changing any information for every single slide in the handout view, versus this is just how to print it out in handout view. And the handout view allows us to print it out with different numbers of slides. So let's say you want the people following along with your presentation, you want the slides to be a bit more clustered. So, you could choose 6 slide horizontal to display all of the slides, or we could choose 9 slide vertical to display the slides if we had more than 6 slides. But I'll just go back to 3 slides because that's what the instructions told us to do. And 3 slides, we have notes right here. So for if the people attending our presentation want to follow along with our slides and they want to make notes next to each slide, this is an easy handout that we could give them and print out. So we'll just exit the view once we're done. Next, they want us to create a custom slideshow using slides 4 through 6, and to name this custom show Shareholder. So we would go to a slideshow in the ribbon, and then we would go to custom slideshow, custom shows. We'll click new, and then we'll want to tick 4, 5, and 6, and then click add. And where it says slideshow name, we want to rename it to Shareholder, and then click OK. So what we did right now was that we made a custom slideshow in PowerPoint using certain slides that we selected. So if you notice that we selected all the slides that basically have shareholder information on it, and we renamed that custom slideshow to Shareholder. So let's say we're making a presentation to shareholders and we don't want this excess information such as stakeholder information or this first slide, that we only want this title slide and the remaining shareholder slides to appear. And then we would just show this custom slideshow. So I'll just hit close once we have that enabled. Next, they want us to rehearse the slideshow timing and to allow the timer to run to at least 5 seconds and then to save that timing. So we would go to the slideshow tab and then click Rehearse Timings. And we'll see the recording option right here. Once it hits up to 5 seconds, we'll click the close button here. And now it's telling us the total time for our slideshow is 10 seconds. Yours might be different. You might have run yours a bit shorter or a bit longer. According to this instruction, as long as it's after 5 seconds, then you're in the clear. So we'll click yes because we want to save this new timing. And what this allows us to do is that if we're presenting on our own and we're practicing the presentation before showing it to a meeting, we could practice how long we're going to talk for and how long it takes us to present the whole PowerPoint. So for example, if our boss told us, oh, you only have 10 minutes or 15 minutes to present the whole information, then you could rehearse the timings here through PowerPoint to make sure you fit within that time frame. Next, they want us to insert a summary Zoom slide using slide 4, which is named Shareholder Information Sales, after slide 2. So we would click on slide 2, which is our title slide, or Ascend Airline Sales. We would go to Insert, and under Links, Zoom, we'll go to Summary Zoom. And this pop-up shows up and they're just asking us what slide do we want in our summary Zoom. They want us to use a slide 4, which is a shareholder information sales slide. So we'll just tick it off and click insert. So what this allows us to do in PowerPoint is that if we go on presentation mode, it allows us to click right onto that image and it leads us right directly to that slide. So, for example, if I would go to present this slide from the beginning, and let's say that this is a summary Zoom slide that we just made, and I just want to access the shareholder information sales right away, I'll click on the summary Zoom, and it leads us automatically to that slide. So it's a really useful tool. It allows an interactive landing page slide that displays the thumbnails of the presentation's main sections or the key slides. So we could like jump in and jump around the different slides in the PowerPoint. So it's really useful if you just want to get to a slide faster, but don't want to rearrange your slides and do all that. So I'll just click Escape to exit out. Next, they want us to insert a slide zoom on slide 2 using slide 6 and to position that slide zoom to be in the upper right hand corner. So I would go to slide 2. I would still be an insert tab in the ribbon. I would go back to zoom, but this time I would click slide zoom. And they want us to use slide 6, which is shareholder information, stocks. So I'll just tick it off and click insert. And they want us to position it in the upper right hand corner. So I'll just click and drag. So this is a bit similar to what our summary Zoom just did, except that the slide Zoom allows us to put it on a slide in the presentation. So it still does the same thing where we can click on or if we're in presenter mode and then we click on the slide, it leads us to that slide that's enabled in the slide Zoom. So if I go to presentation mode, and let's say I don't want to jump around between all these different slides, I would just begin my slide presentation, click on it, the zoom that we just made, the slide zoom, and it automatically goes to the slide that we selected for our slide zoom. Next, they want us to remove the comment that's on slide 6 and to add a comment using all of the bullets that are on slide 5 and to type in new evidence ? To that comment. So we'll go to slide 6. So the comment is on slide 5. We can also see that's denoted right here. So is denoted here. It's a bit different than in Excel, where in Excel you can see a comment if it's on the cell and it's in the upper right hand corner by this purple icon. But here in PowerPoint, it's denoted right next to the slide. So to remove the comment, you could just right click or you could just click on the slide and expand the comment by clicking on that comment, and then click the three icons here, the three circles right here, and then click delete thread. And then we can just exit out right there. They want us to create a new comment on slide 6, which would be new evidence using all the bullet points here. So we would highlight all the bullet points on slide 6, go to the Insert tab in the ribbon, go to Comments, and click Comment. So right here is our comment navigation pane, and we'll just type in new evidence, question mark. And then we'll click this little mail icon to post a comment. And then we'll close it out. Next, they want us to export this presentation to be in XPS format, and they want to save the file as airline. So we'll go to File, Export, and then create PDF or XPS document. And then we'll click that again, create PDF XPS. So it should open this up, and you could save it anywhere you want. For me, I'll save it in my downloads. So I'll go to Download. And under file name, they want us to rename it to airline. And to save as type, yours might say PDF. Just make sure that the save as type should be changed to XPS document. So click that and click Publish. Lastly, in this chapter, they want us to restrict the editing of this presentation so that no other users can edit it after closing. Let's say that we're sharing this presentation between different departments in our company, and we don't want them to edit the information. We just want to share the information that we have on the PowerPoint. We could restrict the editing, and we can also set a password to protect the presentation, from anyone trying to break in. So to do all of that, we will go to File, and then we would go to Info, and then we would go to Protect Presentation. First, we'll do Encrypt with Password to enable our password, and they want the password to be 1234. So that's what we're going to type in. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the password. And then they want us to re-enter it, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then click OK. We would go back to Protect Presentation, and then click Mark as Final, and then click OK. And then just click OK. And we should see that it's marked as final, and that the author has marked the presentation as final to discourage editing. So it allows people who, when we share this presentation, they can't edit the presentation anymore. So that's it for chapter 2.